What is going on, you guys? Last one of these setup videos. We are here at the truck. It has taken a week because we drove home last Thursday, got all the way to Texas from Omaha, went and got the truck inspected, stayed up Thursday doing our 2290, had all of our paperwork, went to the DMV on Friday for them to say, Texas now only does registrations for commercial vehicles online.
You just got jammed.
You have to do it online. Now, I had a TX Fleet account, so we got that done, but it's final setup, and we're determined to not carry more crap than we need. So let's get into the setup of the new truck so we can get on the road next week. Alrighty, so we're gonna start with something simple. Now, here's the back. I talked about these mud flap hangers, and I have looked, and you can see, like I said, they mount horizontally, and in here, you got really thick plates. So if you're gonna drill holes, it's gotta be in a small area. So until I can get somewhere and see if there's some, I can't find any that mount like this. We're gonna keep these stock hangers, but I love Lone Mountain. We'll be doing videos about Lone Mountain, but that doesn't really fit the scheme of my truck. I'm more of a stealth kind of guy, and I have a scheme for this truck. So we're gonna swap out first to some just black, the red Kenworth logo mud flaps, because the theme for this truck will be black, gray, and red. So I'm not gonna show you how to do it. I'll just show you the change. It's simply take the 4 bolts out, change the mud flap. Let's do that. There you go, completely different rear end. My rear end looks better, just kind of simple. Next thing we gotta work on, these quarter fenders. There is not an ounce of white outside of what's gonna be the license plate on this truck. So I got these, just all black, but I didn't really want the silver because, again, I'm not a big chrome fan, obviously. Lawnmower guy. So they actually sell a set of these in black chrome, and man, do I want them. But pacing ourselves, budget friendly here, so we're gonna go ahead, and again, those were 1/2 inch in the back. These are just 7/16. We're gonna take these out and put those on. Literally 5-minute job. Just replace those, and it's on. A little overhang, not worth it to me to cut it, because again, these will eventually be replaced. So definitely a better look than the white. I'm going to show you both sides. That's why I haven't done the other side yet. But the next thing is what happens when you have a couple bourbons and get on eBay. And I had this idea. You can see my chrome spear, I've taken it off. It's two 7/16" bolts that hold on, nuts that hold on the Kenworth logo. And you got the little plastic things you got to pop out. You can see I've already loosened these, so like I said, it'll, if I can do it while I'm standing here one-handed. Anyway, come on. There, your logo comes out. But we are going over to straight black. You can see those little clips are out with the chrome, in with the solid black. I got these off eBay. The guy actually, the reason I bought them for real is that the guy has a warehouse in Grand Prairie, so I could just go pick them up, and he had a good price. So that was JW Auto Parts. I'll throw his stuff up. I'm probably gonna buy my deer guard from him, and he also has the LED headlights. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead. Again, it's those little clips that comes in there. I'm not gonna try and do this one-handed, but essentially they go up there. So let me get this installed, and we'll be able to show you both sides of the truck. All right, so this is what we started out with. I know he's kind of close there. We had the white and this chrome, and now this is what we converted, and all of these are literally 5-minute jobs.
You good looking.
Yeah, you're gonna like the way you look. Now let's get on to some more serious installs, get this truck set up. All the fun stuff's done. Now it's time to get to work. All right, we'll do a real quick inside. So you can see we got our ELD mounted. I put a short up one time. It mounts the same way. You just take the old OBD2 out. There's a splitter, and so that one's there, so you still have it. I don't have it plugged in right now because that takes power, and since it's sitting, there's no reason to have power going. For right now, the GPS is back at the top left. I love the view that I get because it's so big. If I put it here, it blocks that. But here, I mean, it takes up half the windshield. So we'd probably be going to a smaller GPS, but because anybody knows me, knows this cord dragging across is gonna drive me crazy. But we got our Marine Corps knobs. Shout out to the subscriber. The Mob Armor makes this. It is one heck of a sturdy bracket for the ELD. I don't have it plugged in yet as far as power because we got that. We have the CB. She's mounted again. You pop that out, screw in the red, screw in the black. Not a whole lot to that. Again, our usual junk drawers. We so far, because we've been able to minimize the junk, we're able to leave that up. Got my shower bag. But again, we got microwave, got our TV mounted. It's super simple. You probably won't be able to see it, but it's just a straight bar, just like I had on every other one that I have. I'll throw links up for all this stuff in the description. But so 32-inch TV is mounted. You can see over here, I mounted the controller for my inverter. Also, I forgot to show you, I know a lot of people don't. I prefer this type of refrigerator. I know a lot of people like the shelf, but every time I stack stuff on the shelves, all the stuff would do is just slide out every time I opened it. So now that's the quick down and dirty on the inside of the truck. Now we're gonna get into the installation of the inverter and the installation of the toolbox. See y'all in a minute. So welcome to later in the video. I've been teasing it for God knows how long on how many trucks. We're finally installing our toolbox. So first thing we did is remove the steps. That was 424 mils. And so the bracket I have, I'm gonna reuse these holes, but like I said before, this isn't far enough. So I grabbed a chassis grabber from 4 States. So it's just kind of on there so I can slide. So I'm gonna go get the toolbox, which I've mounted the L brackets in my jack so I can get it level so I can mark holes so I can mount here and get it mounted. And then we'll move on to some pretty cool stuff I'm gonna do with it. All right, so I just quick mounted the box to the L bracket. I got the L bracket in place. So I got the chassis grabber again. I've already marked my holes. And so yes, it's high. And again, I can come back here and get to my handles, and I don't fuel back here. If I had to fuel back here, this would not work. This box is way too big with that big step, and you know, I look like King Kong trying to get up there. But it is in place. We'll have a toolbox that will serve its purpose. So I'm gonna dismount it, take it home to drill holes, and do a special treatment at the house that you're gonna see, and then we'll come back and get it mounted up. All right, so we got the box home, got it kind of cleaned up. And again, I told you, chrome don't really fit, and I have 47 cans of Plasti Dip. And quite frankly, I'm a believer in Plasti Dip. Got to drill some holes in the brackets there, but you know, on my truck, this was bought off eBay. This is Plasti Dip, and 6 months later, it's held up pretty good. So, like I said, we're gonna get Plasti Dip, have us a couple of Miller Lights, nice evening, Friday evening, getting this ready to go back on the truck tomorrow. All right, there you have it, our Plasti Dip project. It's a 10-footer. You get up close, y'all can see I made mistakes. Luckily, it's easy to touch up. So I have the 2 brackets, not 100% sure on the spacing, so the chassis grabber is not hooked up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the box into place, get it bolted to here, and then on the chassis grabber, there's some spacers you gotta put to make it sit flush, but we got our L brackets, we got our box. Said I brought some Plasti Dip, we can touch it up, but I'm pretty excited. Let's get this done. So, you know, I've only been talking about this for, I don't know, a year. So let's finally get this toolbox mounted. All right, catwalk's buttoned up. The toolbox is buttoned up. We now have plenty of space. It ain't going anywhere. So again, we're gonna load some stuff up. Once it's loaded up, I'll show you, but she's done. And I think, like I said, from 10 feet away, it looks better to me. So show you all what it looks like once she's loaded up. All right, 4 chains, 4 binders, 10 straps, and 6 of the 4-inch ratchets, because chassis, and you never know what you're gonna get, but mark it done. Trying to keep marking things off the list. We're getting there. Finish up. Let's go ahead and start that power inverter install. That should be fun. All right, now it's time to install the power inverter. The one thing that gives everybody consternation that's actually pretty simple. So, as I mentioned before, I got the 5,000 watt because it was the same price as the 3,000 watt basically, and bigger's better, right? It comes with positive and negative cables that are too short. You'll see the red one in a minute, so I went to Harbor Freight and got a black one. I did read the instruction manual. We're less than 6 feet, so 2 gauge will work just fine. That is to reduce interference. We'll hook that up. This is an extension for the faceplate, and you'll see why that's important to me. We got a hole saw. We got these little suckers, which I'll show you here in a minute. And, you know, wire loom, our fuse, and then this is for crimping the ends because you got to cut those to get them to fit. But look, the thing with these power inverters is it's just a box. It's a box with a power cable that goes to the positive, and a battery cable that goes to the negative. But it is electricity and nobody wants to burn down their truck. And unfortunately, there's no really where behind the seat in the cab to hook it. I know I've already kind of got this apart. And they mounted the fire extinguisher right there. So it's actually going to go right up there, and we'll run the cord over here to where I sleep so I can see it. And we'll run an extension cord that way because everything's powered on the passenger side of the truck and the batteries are over here. So I got to get it close to the batteries. But the biggest thing that causes people problems with this is you got to drill holes. And yep, I'm going to drill 2 holes in a brand new truck, and that will run it over. And again, what I did was I removed my arrow here just so I could see and make sure I wasn't drilling into fuel lines or anything like that. Positive connection there. So once I drill the holes, those things I was showing you, and I'll show you how they work in action, is I'm going to be using these. I got these off Amazon, and that weather seals. So you put your wire through it, it screws on. There's another screw that goes here that screws it up into the body. And then when you screw this bottom piece on, it makes it weatherproof. So you don't have to worry about it. So look, if you're scared, call the police. I understand this is not comfortable for a lot of people. Have a professional do it. I've been wiring a lot of things. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next step and get the inverter in here, and we're going to drill some holes. All right, so as you can see, we drilled the first hole. I also had a gasket kit, so I put a grommet in the hole, and then it comes through right there. So I'm going to drill the next hole. After I drill the next hole, we'll start running wires. Really is that simple. There's where the inverter is going to go. Let's get it on next step. All right, we're at a stopping point for today. I got to go home and finish something. You can see the inverter's in there. Got our wires run. Still need to put the cap on there. That's the hold up. I didn't have the right size to crimp that onto there. So those wires are ready. We got to run our thing there. And underneath the bottom, it comes out of the 2 holes. I got wire loom. Got it secured up here. I used a radiator clamp, put some Tessa tape so there's no metal rubbing. But that's there. And these are here just waiting to be put on. So what we're going to do is button this side piece back up, take care of all things, and we'll come back tomorrow and finish everything up. All right, so we are back trying to finish the inverter so we can move on with our lives. So I did have to go buy new ends because the ones I had were too small to fit on these bolts. But so you can see it comes out there. We've got these covers. We go ahead and put those on. We will be done underneath. But I mean, it's literally that. This is a ground wire. Got to find something to ground that to, but it's really just, it says for, you know, interference and static. So now we're going to go under the cover here, make our connections, and see what happens next. All right, we got our connections. We got our negative, positive. You can see I got my fuse. I got it there for easy access if I need it. Everything is wire loomed. Everything is here, is connected. This is just a ground wire. Like I said, I got to hook that up, but I want to be down here. It's got the extension, so I'll run this up into the cab where I can see it. But for hitting the power button, I want to be down here to check for things smoking and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's hit the power button and see what happens. Not hard for y'all to see, but there you go. 12 volts. It has no output because there's nothing plugged into it. Get some cool red lights. Now we got underglow under the bunk. But we're going to put this back under the bunk back together. And we're going to keep moving with the setup of the truck. But again, power inverter. It's a box. Positive, negative. To the positive and negative on your battery. Got to drill a hole. But got to run your wires carefully so they don't get cut. There's a couple extra things. But, you know, this probably would have cost me, I don't know, a couple $100 to have somebody else do it. And even with all the specialty stuff I had to buy, I still spent less than $100 on installation stuff. So, I don't know. Got the drill way of being done. You eliminated Cummins. Let's move on to the next. All right, done. 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 You know, I make fun of my wife for going and getting containers, and then I use all her containers. Done. Done. I'll go over here real quick. Show you on the outside. We are there you go. Tools are on this side. I love having easy access. So there you go. We have it. 24902. She is ready to roll. Well, guys, there you have it. She is all set up, ready to roll. We did it in 10 days. We leave out Monday, so I can't wait to bring you guys some content in the new truck. Hopefully keep it organized. I'm telling you, the amount of stuff that I didn't put back on the truck, because I am determined that this is not going to be where there's just stuff that you have. And there's still too much stuff on here, but you know, you got the space, you're going to use it. So there you go. Ready to rock and roll. God bless. Let's get rolling.